Welcome to the English learning community. Once upon a time, in a small village in Uttar Pradesh, there lived three brothers. They were once very close. They used to eat together, laugh together, and work in the fields together. Their names were Raju, Hema, and Rahul. Raju, the eldest, had a strong sense of duty. After finishing school, he joined the police force and served the people with honesty. He stayed in Uttar Pradesh, close to his village. His job kept him busy, but his heart was always with his family. Hema, the middle brother, was calm. He moved to Gujarat. He worked hard, day and night, and finally got a good job in a big company. He lived in a city now, far away from home. Rahul, the youngest, was always curious. Rahul studied and became a data scientist. He also lived in Gujarat, in another city, not very far from Hema. Time passed. All three brothers grew up and became successful in their own lives. But something was missing. They rarely met. They rarely called. They missed their childhood, their home, their parents, and most of all, each other. One evening, Raju was sitting on the veranda of his house in the village. The sun was setting, birds were flying back to their nests, a gentle wind was blowing, but Raju felt empty inside. He picked up his phone and called Hema. "Hello, Hema. How are you?" "I'm fine, Baya," said Hema. "How are things at home?" "Good, good, but I miss you both," Raju said softly. There was a silence on the phone. Then Hema said, "I miss you too, Baya." "Let's talk to Rahul," said Raju, and so they added Rahul to the call. All three brothers were now talking after many months. It felt good. It felt warm. It felt like home. "Baya," Rahul said, "do you remember when we used to sit under the mango tree and eat dinner together?" "Yes," Raju smiled. "I remember." "And do you remember when Papa used to tell us stories?" Hema added. "Yes, I remember everything," said Raju. "But we are not together now." There was another long pause. Then Raju said something that surprised both of them. "I have an idea. Let's start something together. A business, maybe?" Hema was curious. "Business? What kind of business?" "Anything that brings us back together. Something that keeps us in the same village. Something for the future," Raju said. "But Baya, we have jobs, we have careers," Rahul replied. "I know, but what about family? What about happiness?" said Raju. And with that, a new chapter began in their lives. The next few weeks were full of calls and video meetings. Raju, Hema, and Rahul discussed many business ideas. "How about a petrol pump?" Raju asked. "Good idea, but we need land and permission." "Okay, how about a CNG gas station?" Raju asked. "Possible. Let's note it down." "Marriage guest house in the village or city," Hema suggested. "Yes, people are always looking for a good place for weddings." "What about saffron farming?" Raju said.
Kesar farming is expensive but profitable. Interesting, said Rahul. They also discussed opening a dairy farm. Milk, ghee, paneer, we can supply to nearby cities, said Hema. The list kept growing. Organic farming, cold storage, poultry, coaching center. Each idea had potential. But more than that, it brought the brothers closer. They started making plans. Rahul used his data skills to make presentations. Hema made a budget sheet. Raju met people in the village and discussed land, electricity, and support. Every night they talked, and every night they dreamed. But they still had jobs. They still lived in different cities. The business was only a plan. Nothing had started yet. One day, their father, an old farmer, asked Raju, "What are you doing these days? You look busy." Raju smiled. "We are planning something, Papa. A new life." The father nodded. "I just want you three to be together again. Like before." That night, Raju sat outside looking at the stars. He thought about his brothers. He thought about the village. And he thought about the dream they were building. He called Rahul and said, it's not easy to leave everything and start fresh. But I believe we can do it. Rahul replied, "Yes, Bhaiya, it's scary, but I'm excited." Hema joined the call and said, "Let's take small steps. We'll figure it out. And Raju said one line that stayed with them. Yes, we can. Those words were not just words. They were hope, they were strength, they were family. The story doesn't end here. The land has not been bought yet. The dairy farm is still a plan. The saffron seeds are still in the packet. But one thing is sure, the brothers are now working together. They laugh again, they dream again, they feel alive again. The road is long, but the first step has been taken. Will the business start? Will they return to the village for good? Will they build something meaningful? Well, let's see what happens next. Emma here. Wow, sometimes dreams are not just about success. They're about coming back together, rebuilding bonds, and making something meaningful. Plans may take time, but with strong hearts and clear purpose, anything is possible. And here's your English tip. When you listen to stories, pause and say small sentences aloud. It improves your pronunciation and builds your confidence. If today's story touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe. More simple and inspiring stories are coming your way.